I want to start off the show today by talking about the local real estate statistics. They come out every month. I like to talk about them to keep you updated on what's going on in the market with prices, with the number of home sales. And we saw something that we see most Augusts, and that's we start to see a little bit of a slowdown. In July, for example, in the Greater Tampa Association of Realtors Board, we sold 3,065 homes. In August, it dipped to 2,704. The average sale price, the first time in several months that we saw a drop, it was a drop to 220,679 from 221,000 in July. Average days on market crept up a little bit to 69 days from 64 last month, and 7,937 homes on the market, which is 2.9 months of inventory, a slight change from last month's lower 2.8 months of inventory. So overall, not a lot of change, a little bit of drop in sales, but some of that is part of our little seasonal dip that we see, but nonetheless pretty stable across the board. And that's compared to August of last year. We had 2,483 sales. So again, almost 220 sales.
18% increase over last year. It's been an 18% decrease in sales since June.
Correct.
But
still better than last year.
Still 18% better than last year. And when you were saying those, the average days on market crept up a little bit, and the inventory crept up a little bit. Still huge, very appreciation-friendly type numbers.
Correct, and so 2.9 months of inventory is still a crazy seller's market. I mean, that's stuff you see in like San Francisco, and all the markets don't always have an inventory problem.
Right.
2.9 months of inventory is really, really low, and how they measure that is, so in reality, there's less homes on the market, but there were also less sales. So that inventory number, is a little bit deceiving. So there's less homes on the market than there was last month. But the inventory number looks lower because there were actually less sales, and it's a ratio between number of sales, number of homes in the market. So there's still an inventory problem. There's obviously appreciation, and last year's average sale price at this time is $213.
What's your personal opinion why there's an inventory problem? I mean, you could read what you want to read.
I mean, if you look at appreciation, so last year the average sale price at this time is $213. This year it's $220. So that's a $7,000 bump.
Right.
So when you increase payments, so you have some of that's happening. You have, increase in payment. You got a little bit of a rate change. You've got property values rising, so taxes have risen. So now that increases the payment again. So I think it's a combination of becoming less affordable. I also think that it's a combination of investors. If we look back a year and 2 years ago, the market was so heavy on investors because they could buy the homes and rent them and do well, have a good cap rate, make a 10 plus percent return on investment, and they can't do that right now because rents haven't crept up as much as prices have. So you've lost an investor audience, you've lost a pool of buyers, and I think that's helped contribute a little bit to it. And I think the other thing is the investors that are out there haven't decided to unleash their inventory because they own a lot of inventory. If you look at Blackstone and Colony Capital and some of these really large hedge funds, they own thousands of homes in Tampa Bay. In other parts of the country, they've sold those homes off, but they haven't here yet started selling.
Rents are so high.
That's it. So. And they haven't sold them off because they don't feel like it's at the peak.
Right.
They feel like there's more appreciation there, so they keep holding on, which keeps the inventory low. So that's kind of my take on it. And I think you've got a lot of sellers that are sitting on the fence thinking, prices are rising, why sell now? I'm just going to hold on. The reality is that's a mistake a lot of the time because the $200,000 seller is likely going to move up to a 400 or a 300, and they say, I'm going to hold on because my 200 is going up. What do you think's happening to the 400? It's going up at a comparable clip, so you're losing money by holding on, but they don't necessarily think that extra step ahead. So I think
that's some sellers out there that think they're still underwater, but they don't realize that the appreciation has.
No question.
Yeah.
No question. We have it happen all the time, and we've got testimonials on our website and reviews on our web pages from people that didn't think that they had equity and then come to find out they could get out of their house and either pocket a little bit of money or get out free and clear without owing anyone, and they're happy to do that because the appreciation, their home was worth $180 a couple of years ago, they couldn't sell it, now it's $220, and they can.
Right.
So check out TampaBayHouseValue.com if you're curious about that. A little plug there.
There you go.
If you think your
Great
value is
segue,
risen, if you think your value is risen, go to TampaBayHouseValue.com and you can find out. You get a free monthly market report about what's going on in the market, whether or not your value is there. But some other interesting things that I saw in the statistics that I think sometimes people are a little confused about, and I know we've talked about it a few times, but the condo market is starting to do better, but they're still distressed. There's still a lot of financing challenges when you compare condos to single family homes, and the luxury market, is still really saturated, but doing better than it was, kind of a year and 2 years ago. So definitely seen some improvements in the market.